On a tiny island, isolated and without native land mammals, wolf bones appeared where they should not exist. This finding, documented in the magazine PNAS, raises an intriguing question. Why would anyone transport wolves to a place that is only reached by boat? With bone remains, ancient DNA, and chemical analysis, an international team has reconstructed a surprising history of coexistence and human control. If you like this type of content, do not forget to subscribe and like our video. This helps us to continue creating more interesting material about scientific and archaeological discoveries. Stora Karlsö is an island of just 2.5 square kilometers in the Baltic Sea, off the coast of Sweden. It was never linked to the continent, which means that any large terrestrial animal that occurs there had to arrive by human action. During excavations in the cave of Stora Karlsö, archaeologists found remains of two large canids that lived between 3,000 and 5,000 years ago. The archaeological context is key to understanding the finding. The cave was used for millennia as a place of human activity. Their remains of food, tools, and bones of various animals were accumulated, in addition to some domestic ones. Wolves appeared mixed with this material, suggesting a direct connection with humans. A presence of wolves in Stora Karlsö is surprising. There is no evidence of wolves at other sites in the island region, which reinforces the idea that these animals did not arrive alone. In nearby islands like Gotland, no remains of wolves have been found in prehistoric contexts. The researchers analyzed the ancient DNA of the bones and confirmed that they were wolves. They did not belong to the lineage of domestic dogs and showed no sign of mixing with them. However, one of the wolves had a very low genetic diversity, typical of small and isolated populations, suggesting some kind of human control. Chemical analysis of the bone remains revealed that the diet of these wolves was dominated by marine resources. This fits with what is known from the human groups that used the island, who hunted seals and fished, suggesting that wolves had regular access to food of human origin. One wolf had an advanced bone injury that affected his mobility. In a wild environment, this would have drastically reduced his chances of hunting. The fact that the animal lived with that injury reinforces the idea of a prolonged coexistence with humans. The study suggests that wolves were not simply potential dogs. Domestication is a long and discontinuous process, and these wolves fit better into a gray area, where they lived in difficult conditions to explain without human intervention. The researchers argue that these wolves could be kept on the island for symbolic and cultural reasons, not only utilitarian ones. This opens a broader perspective on the relationship between humans and wolves in prehistory, where there were short contacts and forms of coexistence that were not consolidated. At first glance, the discovery may seem limited, but in archaeology, the minimal details may alter complete accounts. This finding broadens our understanding of prehistory by showing that humans integrated wolves into their environment in a controlled and sustained manner. The value of the study lies in the solidity of the set of indications. The combination of geographical isolation, marine diet, low genetic diversity, and a human context suggests a direct and prolonged interaction between people and wolves, which forces to rethink the relationship between humans and animals.